We start with new details this afternoon about that massive Toyota recall. The company has added another 1.1 million vehicles to that list, and Toyota has already recalled 4.2 million because of a potentially deadly problem with the gas pedal. The company announced it will stop sales of the Venza and Pontiac Vibe and add additional model years for the Highlander, Matrix, and Corolla. Now, this comes after another report of another accident involving a Camry on the recall list. A woman crashed through a laundromat in Pennsylvania yesterday. She told police she was trying to park her 2007 Camry when it just suddenly lurched forward. It's not clear what caused the crash, but the car is one of the models involved in the recall. The idea of a car speeding out of control can be terrifying for owners of the vehicles affected by the recall. And Channel 3's Jim Carmack begins our team coverage with a demonstration of what to do if your car's gas pedal sticks.
The recent Toyota recalls have reminded us once again of the possible tragedies that can occur when an accelerator gets stuck or the engine will race out of control. And we want to take a moment to just remind you or let you know what to do if that is the case and you're behind the wheel of a Toyota or any make of car when the engine takes off on you. So to do that, we turn to the experts. Bobby Likis, owner of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. He's a national radio talk show host. He's just our car guy, and we do thank you for joining us today. So Bobby, if you're driving behind a car, the engine just starts to slam straight ahead, what do you do?
Well, that's a panic situation, so the first thing to do is not to panic. The second thing to do is do not reach for the ignition switch. If you turn the key off, it will lock the steering wheel and for sure cause you to have an accident. What you should do is disengage the engine that's racing from the vehicle, like that car that just went by, that is racing from the vehicle. So the simplest thing to do is to shove the car in neutral.
That sounds awfully simple. You and I standing here in a parking lot, oh, just pop it into neutral. Sounds a lot simpler, but in a real life situation,
well, in a real life situation, the easiest of situations under panic situations become hard ones. So I think that what you and I should do is get in the car and without me knowing it, you nail the throttle and I'll show you how simple it is. And for every one of our listeners out there and viewers, they can see exactly that push the car in neutral. That's all that's necessary. Let's do it.
Sounds like a plan. Coming up tonight at 6, Bobby and I get behind the wheel. We're going to jam this car as fast as we can, pop it in neutral, and see what happens. Join us tonight at 6. In Pensacola, Jim Carmack, Channel 3 News.
Again, the affected models Toyota has suspended sales are the Camry and Corolla, the Avalon, RAV4. Also on the list, the Matrix, Highlander, Sequoia, and Tundra, and now the Venza and Pontiac Vibe. If you own a Toyota and you've got some questions, call the Toyota customer service line at 1-800-468-6968.
Now, the question many Toyota owners have is, what do I do if my gas pedal actually sticks? Well, today we had Bobby Likis from Bobby Likis Car Clinic get behind the wheel of a Toyota at full speed. Then we used a panic stick to jam the accelerator when he least expected it. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll show you the steps he took to stop that car from accelerating out of control. Now for the latest on Toyota's troubles. The company has expanded its list of problem cars to include 10 models. Toyota will stop sales of the Venza as well as the Pontiac Vibe. Now, they originally oversaw the design of that car for GM. It is also expanding the model years for 3 other cars. The sales suspension and recall are because of a problem with a gas pedal. Now, they can stick without warning, leaving drivers helpless. Yesterday, a woman told police she was trying to put her 2007 Toyota Camry in a park when she says it lurched forward and smashed into a building. It's one of scores of accidents being attributed to the gas pedal problem. So what do you do if your accelerator gets stuck? And Channel 3's Jim Carmack climbed into the car with car specialist Bobby Likis to find out.
Okay, we're behind the wheel. Bobby Likis is driving the car. We're going to put this in real traffic situation. We're going to be rolling along. I've actually got control of the throttle. I've got a panic stick, so I'm going to jam on the accelerator when Bobby's not expecting it to put it in as real life situation as possible to make the accelerator go when he least expects it. You ready, Bobby?
I'm ready.
All right, let's give it a shot. We're going to be rolling along at normal speeds, and then just assuming you're driving along, and then out of nowhere, the accelerator hits, and you've got no control.
I put it in neutral and I take away your control because although the accelerator pedal is still wide open, as you can hear the engine, we're not moving because I disengaged the car from the engine by pushing the transmission stick in neutral. That's the simplest, best thing to do. Do not reach for the ignition switch. Do not turn the car off. That will lock the steering wheel. Instead, just shove the gear shift in neutral and your panic is over.
Once the car is in neutral, slowly brake and pull over to the side of the road, then turn off the ignition. The engine will race, but Bobby says that will not damage the motor or the car. Now, Bobby, we couldn't let you get away without at least revving up this Viper engine one time, but you say even with these high-performance cars, the computer will still control the RPMs and limit any engine damage.
Absolutely. Not only does it limit the engine damage, it limits the top speed of the car. I'll show you with my own automobile. I think you just want to hear a lot of noise.
I do.
Okay.